Hey everybody. Looks like it was summertime. There's a lot of people out and about. I think Rosie told me last week she wasn't going to be here this week. I've seen from some of her thumbnails of her videos, I believe she's out of town. So it's just me and Blue tonight, unless somebody else jumps in. And there we go. I got it just in time. And so anyway, without further ado, I'll let Blue do an intro, and then we'll start the conversation. I hope he didn't lock up again.
No, everybody should know who I am. I'm probably get.
I didn't hear much of that.
All right, I just shut YouTube down. Am I good now?
Yeah.
All right. I'm not going to be able to hang out in the external chat at all by the looks of it. I got banished to the garage tonight, so Wi-Fi is limited. But everybody should already know who I am. Check out my channel. If you like what you see, give it a sub. As always, TR, thanks for having me on. And we'll talk about whatever comes up.
Yeah, that made all the difference in the world when you shut that other browser down.
I like to watch the external though, because you know what I mean. It's like it kind of keeps you back and forth with everybody.
Yeah. Well, trick just off. Well, not also. Now I don't know if that would work for you or not. But if you pull it up on your cell phone, the chat's on the cell phone now. It used to not be, but they are now. I mean, it'd be a pain in the ass to comment and shit, but if you just wanted to see what was being said, you know.
All right.
Anyway, since Rosie's not here, I'll give you a quick, my opinion of the economics, because I think even somebody that don't know anything about stock market, economy, and stuff like that could look at what's going on right now and say, what the fuck? If I'm not mistaken, the stock market at a all-time high. It says 18,347, I think it was. I checked today. 18,300 something. The S&P was almost hit 5,000. I think that's what it was. And it don't make any sense. Venezuela is wow. I mean, it is shit hit the fan in Venezuela. Greece is still struggling. You have the UK getting out of the EU, which caused market problems and still potential problems and stuff. I mean, I think it still did the right thing. Don't get me wrong. All the tension with China, all the tension with Russia. Way too much shit going on in the world. There's more unrest in the world right now since there was probably in World War II. I mean, it's that bad. I think it's probably worse than it was in the 80s when our economy was in the shitter. You know, it is now too. It's just they just pretend it ain't. So just my uneducated as far as stock market and all that stuff, the bottom's about to drop out. There's no way in hell the bottom is not about to drop out, because it is all fake. It is propped up, and the shore beams that they're using to prop it up, them things are about to snap. There's no way they can't. So that's just my general short version of the economy. We thought it was bad, but the fact, if the stock market just kind of maintained and just sat there and done that, it'd still be fake. It's still a bunch of bullshit, but not grow to the highest it's ever been. It makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. So that shit's about to pop. There just ain't no way in hell. It can be at the highest. I mean, the only way it can be at the highest is like if everything's just fucking booming. It's like shit. Yeah, there's plants being opened and people just got jobs out the ass and all. No, that ain't happening. So I don't know how bad when it hits what it's going to do, but from what all the experts are saying, when it hits, it's going to be like nothing none of us have ever seen. So brace yourselves.
Do you think that there's a major influx now in the stock market, just to people sinking money into it to try to make it look better before the crash? Or
yeah, and the Fed's got a lot to do with that because they buy bonds, and I don't know all there is to it, but when they're buying these bonds, and matter of fact, one of the things just last week or something like that, the Feds bought more bonds in 1 week or 1 month than they had like all year or some shit like that. But when they buy those bonds, see, that kind of shows up in the stock market. If I'm not mistaken, that's one of the, because you'll hear them say the Fed's propping up the stock market. Well, one thing when they're doing that, they devalue our money. It puts fictitious numbers in the stock market, because the stock market, really, those numbers is just trade. You know, this being there and this being there, traded stocks today, and then they trade them back tomorrow. Well, guess what? That's that's action. That's stocks moving around, stuff being bought and sold. So you could have companies and billionaires, stuff like that, just trade every day, back and forth, and that makes some numbers high. So, yeah, it can be fictitiously manipulated.
Well, if this isn't going to work, I'll end up moving to the back porch. I don't know what it's sounding like right now, but I don't want to be roboting all night, so I can definitely move if needed.
You sound fine right now. If I missed you roboting, it's because I was running my mouth. Yeah.
I don't know. With your work, TR, do you have a 401k, or is there like a retirement plan that the company puts up for you, or are you more, you got to do it yourself and manage it?
They'd have a 401k, but I don't participate in it. I did when I first started there, and I worked there a few years and didn't have that much money in it. First time I'd ever had a 401k in my life, and that was 10 years ago. And when I quit for those 4 or 5 months or whatever and went back, when I left, I was given the option, okay, I got to take it with me and put it in another 401 or IRA or whatever. And after 10 years, it was only worth about $5,000. So I just cashed it out. I said, fuck it. Because, at this rate, another 10, 15 years, I ain't retiring off this shit. I need a truck. So I cashed it out and went and bought a truck.
And that's where I'm lucky. I mean, I don't know a lot about my retirement plan. All I know is they give me an actuary twice a year, like once at the beginning of the year, once at the middle of the year. And I mean, we only have to put in, I think it's like 5% out of our own, like whatever we make our base pay, we only put in 5%. The municipality is held for the rest of it. And I guess just because of the profession, the state puts into it. So, I mean, it's damn near fully funded. So I'd be dumb to get out of it. I mean, I'm putting pennies into it. And actually, I haven't put into it until the recent, let me see, I've been there 16 years. And I think within the last 2 years is the only time that we put 5% in. So, I mean, I'm already ahead of the game. And by the time I retire and start collecting a pension, it's basically, I think we worked it out. And basically technically I would only put 5 years into it before I start making money off of what's been put into it. So I can't get out just for, financial, I can't.
Oh, ain't nothing wrong with it. Like I said, I started so late in the game because I'd never had the opportunity to have a 401. I mean, the first plant that I worked at, which when I got out of working on cars, which there wasn't nothing there then. I mean, whatever I done would have been strictly on me. And the place I was working at, their 401 plan was so shitty that it was just like, hell, I might as well just go get my own mutual fund thing and do it myself, you know, and not be restricted on when I could pull it out. Because you do the regular 401s, you know, there's very restrictive on what you can pull out. You can make loans on it and stuff like that, but you just can't cash it out unless you have a hard, you know, some kind of bad, what do they call it? Something, something bad happens, you know, you're about to lose your house, whatever. Mm-hmm. But if you quit or get fired, then you can cash it out. You just got to pay taxes on anything you made and blah, 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 you know. Right. So anyway, when I went back to where I am now, I just didn't even start it. Plus, they used to be pretty good. There was $1 for $1. They'd match $1 for anything you put in, which is good. You doubled your money. And when I was in it and was like playing the market a little bit, I kept losing. And I just had it in like medium risk shit. And so I finally just went to bonds, and I'm like, look, I'm doubling my money. If I put $1 in, they put $1 in. So I'm doubling my money. I don't care about playing the stock market. I'm just going to leave it in bonds. And so by the time I quit, which was, I've been there like 9 years, looking at what I was putting into it, which wasn't a lot. I was putting in like 5%. I'd only made like $5,000. It was a little bit more than that, but they had some administrative fees and blah, blah, blah they had to take out. But it was roughly like $5,000 over 9 years. And I'm like, so when I went back, I was like, fuck, I ain't starting a 401k because I ain't going to retire on it. I wouldn't be able to nothing. I mean, it was like, shit, I might as well have the money in my pocket now and just spend it, buy what I need.
Right. Get everything paid off now so you don't have to freaking worry about it once you retire.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. Let me do a quick rundown right quick. I know I don't do that enough. I see we got some new people here. We got Joshy Bingham, JX. Of course, Blues out there. Southern Style 357. Sandy's Passion. Survival. Diane. 2 Campers. HNRE. I think that's supposed to be Henry. 42. Stump Greenwood. V-Board. Dish Outdoors. Mr. Fun Fisher guy, Curious Yellow Solar. It shows up so faint on my computer I can hardly read that for some reason. HRM Weapons Machinist, Chris Do-It-Yourselfer, Guinevere. Let's see, and I think SKS Hugo, Frank L. I think that's everybody that's out there. Oh, Buck Run 11 was in earlier. He still may be listening. James Dunn.
Ooh, Pop's Quest. Shoot him a link.
Yeah, I can try that. No. Yeah. I don't know what it is on this channel here. There's only a couple people I can invite within the chat. It's weird. All right, give me a second. I'll do that. Being a Tuesday, I don't know that he'll come in.
No, he just put it in the external. Shoot me a link.
Oh, did he? Oh, okay. I scrolled up. I didn't even see he was out there.
So while you're working on inviting him, we'll talk about something simple for a second. How's your tobacco garden going?
It's growing. I don't know that the guy that gave me the seeds, his is a lot bigger than mine, but he's got a very big open area. And so I guess his does better. I mean, I have such limited sunlight. I think they want more sunlight than my garden, but they are growing. So maybe by the end of the summer, let's see. I'm going to shoot it to your inbox, Pops. I can't find you on Google. But yeah, it's growing. I need to do a lot. Boy, you're talking about doing weeding. You was talking about that earlier. Mine is ate up with weeds. When I went out there and weeded, I just kind of made an area around the plants because it is overrun with weeds. I can grow the hell out of some weeds.
And this year, I don't know. I plant it pretty much the same time every year, and I don't know. I call them squash. There's summer squash, or I'm sorry, I call them zucchini, the long green ones. Those things are freaking they're blowing up, and I've never had this many this soon. And my summer squash, I mean, I couldn't believe it. I went out there tonight. They're only little tiny ones, but each plant has like 6 on them, and I'm like, what the flip? And I mean, yeah, I'm used to like 1 or 2, and then you have to wait another 2 weeks, and then you get something. And so I mean, it's been working pretty good.
Hey, Pops, you got prettier.
Thank you. I had a sex change.
Okay, that's okay. I kind of wondered about him. He, or you. I'm sorry.
Well, you know, he's kind of sensitive like that.
I didn't get to say bye to you the other day. Sorry, I didn't want to. I didn't know what y'all was doing, if y'all was changing clothes and stuff like that. So I wasn't going to come barging into the little guest house.
Well, how'd you sleep, first of all? Okay.
Oh, how did I sleep?
Yeah.
Oh, I slept fine.
Okay, good. No, I was cleaning, getting ready for the next clan coming in. But I just wanted to say hi. I'm gonna bag out, but I wanted to see how the 20-foot jumper is doing.
Yeah, I made it.
You made it.
Yeah.
Nose plugged and all.
Yeah, no soreness the next day or anything. I did touch the ground one time.
Yeah, it's not that deep, but it's deep enough.
Yeah, I mean.
But
not
anyway, we thoroughly enjoyed having you hang out with us.
Oh, I had a good time. I do appreciate it. I told Rob I did appreciate him letting me hang out with his family.
Well, anytime. Y'all have a good chat, and hasta la vista.
All right, later.
I'll put the man on now.
That was my intro, by the way.
Well, the boss must speak.
I'd like to take a vote from the external chat if we would like the bearded man or the female on camera.
That's not fair.
Yeah, I did actually start. I thought about it. I was like, because I knew y'all were about to leave, and as soon as you could or whatever, and I was like, I ain't going in there because they might be changing clothes. Your girls were in there, and I hadn't seen them yet, so I don't know. They might have been running around butt naked or something. I was like, nah, I'm just going to go. They ain't out here by them.
Yeah, we were ready to get back to Charleston, so, but it was a good time. That was short, sweet, quick, to the point. And it was something I'd like to do every year.
They're just good folks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for anybody that's seen the videos of us at the lake, Pop put a little quick one out of me jumping off the boathouse, and then all the Coon Dog Day festival. That was all one day, and I didn't get there till like noon or something. I mean, that was all the dancing, all that. It was all one day.
Yep, pack it in tight. Well, I didn't mean to come on here and change the subject.
No, we didn't really have one.
Oh, okay. I've been thinking about picking up smoking, so I got these cigarettes.
Do they still make those?
Yeah, man. Good stuff.
This is the deep south. They still sell cigarettes to kids. What are you talking about?
I walked into that little country store and I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And so I had to, I mean, $1 a pack, that's a ripoff, but I had to buy, a couple different packs to, just because they were there, They probably make more money off these things than anything else in the store. I mean, these can't be more than 10 cents a piece, their cost, So,
This is good.
It's like just a little sugar and some kind of whatever to make a little stick.
All right, Rob, I think you commented on my, Dish brought it up out in the external. I think you commented on my skeet shooting with the AR-15. Are you going to attempt that?
oh, absolutely.
I we were actually hitting the damn things.
Yeah, I was amazed that y'all were blasting those. That was so cool, man. I'm the next time I'm out there, I'm on it, dude. Trust me. And if I can't hit it with the AR, then I'll post a video anyway. But man, that's amazing. That's awesome, dude. That was good shooting. Great
Well,
shooting.
Right before that, I did it. It was just me on the line, and I hit 5 out of 15. And then we both got up, and then he did it, and I think he had like 7 out of 15. We're like, man, we got to do this together and see how many we can blast. I thought we were going to get a lot more than what we did, but it was actually it's a lot easier than what it looks because it's kind of deceiving. I don't know if the video picked it up, but they're damn near flying flat straight away. So as long as you're, but still, I mean, you're hitting that with a, I don't even know how big the projectile is. I mean, it was just a 55 grain, but
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's the easiest when you're shooting shotguns at skeet. That's the easiest target is the going away because you're only moving just coming up to it, and the minute it gets to that hover point, you can hit it. Now I don't know about going across the ground like that. That would be the most interesting thing because you're kind of. I mean, I don't know. I'm guessing y'all were shooting almost down at them, kinda. Is that right?
it from standing height, it would have been the highest they would have got was at your head, maybe a
Yeah.
little bit higher. So
Yeah, I wish more. I don't know how many views you got on that video, but that's a 1,000,000 view video right there. That's cool. Very cool video. That's awesome.
and we didn't even that wasn't even a plan. They were up there shooting skeet with their new shotguns that they got, and I was like, let me unload a clip on this, or I'm sorry, a magazine. How dumb can I? Damn it, I'm in the penalty box. I can't talk for 2 minutes.
That was definitely the way to do it. Have them, because it was kind of like y'all were set up like this, and the guy was shooting them in the middle of you. So it was like you say, you wasn't trying to track it side to side, just kind of up and down. And
Right.
But that'd be about the only way you could do it. I mean, at least anybody that I know, I'm sure there's guys that could shoot them to the side, but damn, I can't hit them all the time with a shotgun, much less AR.
I had a couple people that sent me a couple messages. They were like, man, you had me pissed just by the title because they thought that we were shooting skeet, like you shoot with a shotgun up in the air with no backstop. And they're like, man, I was about ready to blow you out of the water until I saw, because I mean, it was flat ahead and, we were in a shale pit. So,
Yeah, that'd be the other thing with AR. You don't want to be shooting them up like that because then you're lobbing for miles.
I don't know. See, I've got, I know normally the Tuesday night chat and stuff, but I've got videos out which I thought would have been, high thousands of views. I mean, we blew up a dryer with 10 pounds of tannerite, and that son of a bitch, that was a video, and it might have a couple hundred views, but yet I've got dumbass videos that I just put up, and we're looking at like 47,000. I'm like, how in the hell does this work?
I couldn't tell you. All I know is the title has a good bit to do with it, and the tags. When
Yeah.
you fill in the tags, If it's a video you really want people to watch, you keep putting in tags until it won't let you put in any more. There's a limit. And I have filled them up on some. I mean, just anything and everything that has to do with it, stuff that don't have anything to do with it. Just put a word in there, you know. Like that video, skeet, clay pigeons, clay targets, AR-15, farm, boobs, just whatever. I put boobs in every tagline on every video of mine.
I'm slack on doing all that, but every now and then I'll fill them up just to see if it makes a difference. I don't know if it really does. There's so many videos on YouTube now, I don't really know if it really matters. But I mean, while the video is uploading, I mean, you might as well just sit there and just dump stuff in it. You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna hurt.
Well, one thing I've done, and I need to fill out more, is you can go in, and I couldn't tell you how to do it right now, but you can go into your settings. I forget where it is. I don't know. I'd have to walk through it. But you can go in and you can set up a base, like a preset, and no matter what video you put up, it'll have those taglines there already. So it ain't like you got to type them in every time. So I don't have everything in there, but I have the basics. You know, every one of them, whether it has anything to do it or not, it'll have prepping, guns, AR-15. You know, that kind of stuff is already there. And then if I want to add stuff, I add it. It's only like a few lines, but even if I don't do anything, that's already there, you know.
Yeah, what you should do, maybe we should try this, is go find the most popular video on YouTube and just put that as the tag.
Yeah, there you go.
And just keep filling them up, like go with the 10 most popular videos on YouTube and just fill it up every time.
Put in hashtag stuff. You know, I don't know crap about the hashtag stuff. I don't have a Twitter account, but especially if you do a video that's, you know, let freedom ring, hashtag let freedom, put that in there too. Even though you got it in a title, put it in a tag too. I don't know what the difference is, but it has something to do with what shows up on the side, the suggested videos. That's how when you're watching something, you're watching on how to rebuild a Chevy 350, and there's mud wrestling over here on the side. That's because somebody put something like mud wrestling in the tag. That's why, because you know, if you ever went through YouTube and you're watching videos and you end up on a complete opposite of anything you was looking up. I need to know how to do this, and then you're looking over there. Well, let me click on that right quick, and then all of a sudden you start a trail.
Yeah, that's the old YouTube rabbit hole. You know, I got into this low-flying jets one time, and it like spiraled into crazy takeoffs and landings, and I mean, next thing you know, I was watching ships wreck and all. I mean, I was going down, man. I had to just shut the whole damn computer off because it was going to end up somewhere with me drooling down my chin and not getting any work done, you know. Anyway, it works. It works. I guess. Like I said.
Yeah, I can't say that you're going to get more views on it, but at least you got a chance to get more. Like I've done videos when I did that torture test, the Tula torture test on my AR. I would have to go back and look at the tags, but the title was pretty much the same thing. I did 2 of them. The first one I actually had some problems. Got thousands, if not tens of thousands of views, at least thousands of views. The second one, hundreds. And it was just a week apart.
Yeah, it don't make sense. It really doesn't. I mean, like I said, I don't put tags in any of my videos, and I've got videos that, you know, have got a gazillion views, and there's for no apparent reason whatsoever.
Yeah, no rhyme or reason, no doubt. So don't look for us for advice on how to make a successful YouTube channel. Just make videos and make a lot of them. That's all I can tell you.
Just have fun. That's the bottom line. Because honestly, if you're not having fun, it's work, and you ain't getting paid, so you might as well have fun.
Yeah.
And I don't put out a video every 3 hours like some people, but I try to crank out one every other day. And I don't really try. It's just whatever the hell I'm doing. I pick up the camera and videotape it, and a lot of them are just for me to come back and look at, honestly, and see what the hell I was doing a year ago.
Yeah, and I think people enjoy. I know I enjoy. At least I make videos that I think that I would enjoy. You know, when I put out a video, I try to make it like, especially if I edit it and stuff, I try to make it something I like to watch. I enjoy watching myself. I ain't saying they all like it. I'm just saying that's one of the reasons I try to keep them short, you know, under 10 minutes, and keep it moving, you know. Try not to bore myself, you know. I ain't downing anybody. I'm just saying that's just what I do.
Yeah, rarely do I watch a 20-minute long video unless it's something that's, you know, how to put together a kid's toy. You know, like you're like driving yourself batty and there's a video on it. You're like, I'm on it, you know. But it's hard to watch. I mean, even y'all's chats, I try to watch them the next day when I'm not on them. I'll have them going in the background, and I get busy. Next thing you know, I'm 30 minutes in, and I gotta go, click off of it, and I gotta leave. So it's hard. It's hard to watch a long video.
Yeah, a 2-hour chat's hard to watch. Just sit down and watch it like you're watching a movie. Yeah, I don't expect a lot of people to watch afterwards. I know people watch the next days to come, but I'm sure they don't watch all of it, because I've actually had people contact me, and they got a long drive to work. Well, they'll listen to it. They won't watch it, but listen to it on the way to work or something like that, you know. And I'm glad people do that. I'm glad we are interesting or entertaining or a little bit of both or whatever, and that's good, you know. So. Yeah, I don't know. You kind of, after so many years, unless I'm doing something new, it's hard for me to make a video about it. You know, going back and like redoing something just to make a video, I don't do that. If I'm messing with something, then I'm kind of redoing something. I'll do a video, but I don't go out of my way to too much anyway. I mean, even the last video where I put up some stuff in Mylar bags, which I'd done before, I didn't do it just to make a video. I was actually putting up some more food in Mylar bags. So I was like, might as well make a video while I'm doing it, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm kind of the same way. If I'm doing it, I'm make a video about it. Might not post it, but at least it's there, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you guys can hear it, but I've got, which never happens, I've got somebody shooting at 10:15, relatively close. And I live in the country. I'm kind of like TR. I mean, if it's not me, something's wrong.
Well, if it sounds like it keeps getting closer, you might want to go do something about it.
Yeah, that's weird.
Keep the chat on though, so we can hear what happens.
TR, was that? Oh God, I can't remember the fella's name. Bearded fella, big guy. But his neighbor was blowing shit up one night during a chat. Was that on yours or was that on Mikey's?
Talk about Stump Greenwood?
No, it wasn't Stump. Oh God, I can't remember his name. He came around for a while and then he kind of drifted away.
Uh-oh.
He's on Stump still there for a while, but
I don't remember.
God, I can't remember his name. But his freaking neighbor, the one night, I mean, it sounded like he was dropping mortars on his back porch. And it was like, what in the hell? I mean, it was, you could hear it plain as day. And he's like, I ain't calling the cops. That guy's fucking crazy.
That sounds familiar, but I can't remember. I don't know. I don't know if somebody was telling me about it or if I was there. I don't know. I still hadn't heard anybody has actually had a pop-off, a live pop-off on the chat. showing a gun and boom, oh shit, yeah. Which is good. Which is good.
Yeah, because a lot of people are showing them, handling them, and stuff like that. I mean, negligent discharge, I don't think happens a whole lot anyway. But to capture it on video would be live. I mean, you can't cover that up. It's out there.
That's I've never had a negligent discharge, and I agree with you. It's not accidental; it's negligent. You did something fucking stupid in order to make that gun go off. I've never had one with an actual firearm, but I did have one with my taser once, and I don't know what the hell I was thinking. Every time you show up to shift, you take the cartridge out of the end, and it's called an arc test, and you pull the trigger, and you have to let it run the whole way down just to make sure that everything's working. Well, I got done doing that. I put the goddamn thing back in, pointed it at the wall, turned it back on, and I don't know what, and I was at work, and I was like, taser, 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 pow, and I shot the wall with the probes went out, freaking confetti went everywhere, and the guy that I was working with was like, what the fuck? And I actually had to stop and question my sanity that night, because I have no fucking clue what I was thinking. And yeah, I had to explain that one to the chief. I didn't get in trouble, but I got written up for it. But I knew, I mean, it was one of those deals where I knew I put the cartridge in, and I don't know why I felt the need to do another arc test, because that's really what I thought I was doing in my head. But yeah, I shot the wall with the damn thing, and
It had to be just the muscle memory thing was just kicking in or something about something you did, I don't know.
I'm not like that. I mean, I've never, only once, and I've told this story a long time ago. TR might remember it, but man, I was young. I was 18. No, I was 20, and I'd just gotten accepted to the police academy. And the academy that I went to, you're responsible for getting your own weapons. And my parents bought me a .40 caliber Beretta for the weapon to use at the academy. And the day before, I was out shooting, and it was a late night, so I didn't have time to clean it that night, because whenever you're going through the academy, I mean, if they say, let me see your weapon, the goddamn thing better be clean unless you're just leaving the range. And I was sitting at my parents' house, and I stripped it down, cleaned it, and cleaned it, and cleaned it, and cleaned it, put everything back together, took a fully loaded mag, put it in, racked one in the chamber. I knew there was one in the chamber. And this was, being 20 years old and this was the first pistol that I'd ever owned, and I really had nobody to show me the ropes. But like I said, put the mag in, racked one in, put it in the holster, and I was like, oh, wait a minute, I got to get all my, get the greasy fingerprints off, because it's all nice and clean, and you know how like you touch it and you get the fingerprint. So I take out what kind? It's the cloth that has graphite or something in it. I don't know. I think it was a graphite cloth or something. And I'm sitting there rubbing it, and I'm getting all my fingerprints off of it. And I fucking look. I didn't decock it. Hammer's back, round in the chamber. I put it down on the ground, and I walked away. Nobody else was at the house, and I walked away from it for about 30 minutes, and it was just, I was so pissed at myself, because better, but that's how easy something bad can happen. I mean, I was new to it, but I still knew better, and man, that could have been devastating.
The first gun, was it that Beretta?
Yeah, I still have it.
Yeah, I was thinking when you were saying that, I remember you talking about buying that Beretta. Yeah, so you're talking single action, cocked and ready to go. Yep. It wouldn't have took hardly anything to set her off.
Nope. And I'm sitting there just rubbing the shit out of it, getting my fingerprints off of it, because I want it to look pretty.
I mean, I've had y'all know, well, Roger, Rick, my best friend here locally, because we're so close and we're so always around firearms and stuff like that. I mean, I've handed him a loaded gun, which you're not supposed to do. and you know, luckily he knows to check it, clear it, whatnot, and I don't know if that's one of the rules you guys follow pretty close, but or it's just a courtesy or what, but when you hand somebody a firearm, it should be cleared and unloaded. And I've handed him a gun that was ready to rock and roll with, and luckily he's muzzle awareness and clears it and stuff like that. So he I could do nothing but just learn from him. But I've done that,
I have handed loaded guns to people, but it was people that I trusted, I knew, and I didn't like hand it to them freaking barrel first or nothing like that. It's, flip it around, or that my buddy Jeff I reload with, I may hand him a gun like this, just or something. I don't do, here you go, you want to shoot it,
Yeah, I do more of one of these as well. It's kind of like
sideways thing.
Sideways. I think muzzle awareness is the best thing you can teach or know or be aware of, because if you do have a negligent discharge and it's pointed at the ground, and what's funny is you go to a gun store and they'll pull it out of the case and clear it, and they'll just sweep you right across you, and it's like, whoa! And then you get it in your hand, and you're making every effort to not, point it, and you want to look at the sights, so you do that, and it just blows my mind. But I mean, I guess they know it's clear, so.
Well, look at that video. It had to have been within the past year. The cop on duty walks into a gun shop and he's looking for an off-duty pistol or something. He's looking at him, and they hand him a gun. They don't clear it. He doesn't clear it, and he's sitting there doing something. And he blew his goddamn finger off. There was a round in the chamber. I mean, that was two wrongs. I mean, that was.
Yeah, that got by two people, which is terrible. That's bad news.
Yeah, I mean, even though it's in the gun case at a store, it should be unloaded. You ain't gonna hand me a gun and me not check it.
Have you guys ever went to a gun store though, and you got a stupid look for clearing it whenever they give it to you?
Maybe, but I wasn't paying attention because I was looking down the chamber.
No, the one place that I love to go to, which is right across the street from my shop, is, I mean, I go in there, sit on a bar stool, and just hang out for an hour. And they don't think nothing of me, and I don't think nothing of them. We respect each other, and they're, it's like the local gun store that you want to get to know people in, and they're cool. They're just cool people. So many gun stores I go into, they're just complete a-holes. They got a chip on their shoulder. They think they have all the stuff that you want. I mean, it's just the attitude's horrible. But the store near me that I love to go to, there's no attitude. There's no ego. It's just awesome. And so they would think nothing of me, and I'd think nothing of them. But I do get sweeped every time they pull one out of the case. I don't know, and I don't say nothing because he clears it first. So I'm like, okay, I let it go. I don't say nothing.
Yeah, if you want to see people sweat, go to a gun shop. Especially the bigger ones, of Gander Mountain, or I don't really think it really matters, even the small ones, like you say. But I see so many people sweeping. I mean, I've been in gun shows and gun stores, and somebody's looking at a gun, and they point the gun right at me, like they're looking down the sights and looking. I'm like, what the hell? Just like you said, hell, that cop just shot his damn finger off. I mean, because I didn't see what they done. I don't know that it got checked 2 or 3 times before he pointed it at my damn head.
I just think that's a courtesy. That's just something you never do.
Yeah. Anytime I've been in anywhere looking at a gun, if I look down the sights, look through the scope, whatever it is, I point it at the ceiling.
Yep, I do too. Boom, right there. Worst thing you can do is take out a ceiling tile. But they cleared it, you cleared it, and that's not going to happen. But you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Well,
Especially nowadays. Go ahead.
Oh no, we're still talking about the guns. I was just came across a news feed that it almost looks like Trump is going to pick, what is that, Newt Gingrich or something?
There's been talk of it. I hope he don't, but that's just me.
I think that'd be like a strategy move, you know. But
I mean, Newt did okay. He picked up South Carolina. I don't know if he picked up any other states. I think he did, but when he was in the primaries. But Newt's got a history, and I think he'd almost be better off picking somebody almost unknown. Not just nobody, but somebody that just hadn't really been in the limelight, or if they have, it's been all positive. Because the problem with Newt Gingrich is he had to resign after he just got reelected for ethic violations. So that's not the guy you want on your ticket. That might be the only thing that they could pull up, but there's been other little stuff too. But I mean, he didn't go up on charges or anything. That's why he resigned. If he tried to stay in office as House leader, I think he was leader of the House, whatever they call it. And yeah, he had to resign for misusing funds or something like that. So, not that any of them are all clean. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, Indiana governor. Yeah, I think that was one of my columns that's put in. So yeah, I think he'd be better off picking some governor that's, you know, had a little bit of a little bit of out there, but not so much nationwide a lot where people know their name. I don't know, but you know what do I know. Speaker of the House. Yeah, that's right. Survival.
Yeah, I was still listening. I was just wandering around. I mean, you know, they started saying what Chris Christie was like. They really thought that that's where he was going to go. Yeah, I don't know much about that man, but just hearing him on different interviews and even during the like the town hall meetings, I didn't like him. I didn't like him, and there's something wrong. There's something wrong with him. I don't know. I almost wish that he would have picked Carson as a running mate, because I like Trump's flair. I like his, no bullshit attitude, but yet you need somebody almost beside him, like Carson, to calm him the hell down. And Carson just has that, I don't know, aura about him that, whenever he talks, it's not that, I don't want to say people listen, but it's a calmer voice. It's a voice of reason. It's a voice of just somebody that I could listen to. And I don't know. We'll see.
Hell, he did get Trey Gowdy.
yes, and I'll tell you why. Because Blue, I love Ben Carson, but I think that would slow the whole thing down. Trump needs somebody that can run with him. You know what I'm saying? Like, be that kind of in your face, shove it down your throat, don't take no crap, and I'm taking the White House attitude. In my dumbass opinion, that's all I'll say, because I think the momentum, you just got to keep chopping, because and I think Trey Gowdy would be awesome. I mean, he don't take no crap off nobody, and he knows his shit, period. I mean, can you imagine him in a debate? He would murder anybody standing up next to him. I mean, they wouldn't even get a word in. He would just cripple their ass.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't hear all of them, but I do know when he was drilling the FBI director, it was like you listened to it, and the FBI director, he wasn't pleading the fifth, nothing like that. He just told him blah blah blah, and you watch it, and it's like, okay, why didn't you press freaking charges then? You just admitted you done this, and this, and he wasn't. He was relentless. Wasn't what he was our attorney state general, wasn't he? I think he was. I'm pretty sure he was the South Carolina Attorney General
I
for a
was
while.
talking. I was muted when I said that, but I'm not sure.
Yeah,
We
if he
could Google it.
was, I can't remember the guy that was. It may or may not have been him, but I remember in the '90s, mid to late '90s, our Attorney General, which it could have been Trey Gowdy. It could have been. I ain't saying it was, but it could have been. Declared they broadcasted this on the radio. It was like in a news conference or something, and they replayed it on the news clips. Declared open war, open season. He declared open season on home burglars. He flat out says for everybody, if your house gets broke into and you feel your life's in danger, you can use deadly force and there will be no repercussions. Period. That's it.
What year was that in? Did you
It's
say
in
the
mid
90s?
mid to late 90s.
So the Castle Doctrine. Do you guys have that Castle Doctrine?
Yes.
Was it in effect then?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that's a relatively new aspect for us within the past couple years.
I don't know that they were calling it the Castle Doctrine, but in South Carolina, you've never had a duty to retreat. Whether it's your yard, your house, your car, a motel room, standing on the street, you never have the duty to run. You can stand your ground. They wasn't calling it that. It was just in the laws it's written that you have no duty to retreat.
Well, that's the way it should be all the time.
Now, in some states, you have a duty to retreat. You got to run.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean that's like, well, I hate keep going back to stories, battle stories, but we had a guy, not our area, just outside. Of course, it was one of those backup situations. Older couple in their house, they were sleeping. Drunk. The guy was drunk. Something happened to his car, and he was at their front door beating on it. Boom, 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 boom. Nobody answered because they're like, who the hell is pounding at my door at 2 o'clock in the morning? Yet he checks, he goes, the drunk guy goes partly around the house, looking in windows, hitting on the side of the house, goes the other way, goes back to the door, boom, 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 not trying to break in, but pounding, trying to get somebody to wake up. Well, the homeowner decided to give him a warning shot, and the warning shot through the door hits the dude just in the upper clavicle, like clavicle, that whatever, that trapezoid muscle or whatever that's called. The guy, he's hit, bends over in pain, and as he's, oh wait, no, I got that wrong. The first shot, shoo, right off the top of his head, literally. It literally skinned his head. Pew! He bends down. The second warning shot, as he's bending down, enters the top of the trapezoid and everything, enters the guy's chest cavity, and he ends up dead. He ended up getting charged with a manslaughter charge. The homeowner did. He ended up, going through a trial, and they found him not guilty. But that one still, there's a big difference between somebody pounding on your door and trying to break in, and that was one of those. Whoo-hoo. What I've done inside, that's one of those deals, man. Yeah, you might be scared for your life at that point, but the dude's outside. As soon as there's an active breaking, like, it turns from boom, boom, boom to kicking the door, trying to force your way in. By all means, it's that open season. But his own statements, this is what happened. He was out there, he was pounding, I was scared. His wife was on the phone with 911 trying to get somebody there. And yeah, first warning shot literally skinned the very top of this dude's head, bent over, boom, second shot down through into the chest cavity, and he ended up dead.
Mm.
And
Yeah, that's a tough one there. That was a little bit. If it was a lady or a young a kid by herself or something, say 15-year-old, 30, you might see the panic thing and not the clear thinking or whatever. Well, like you said, he got off anyway, but that's pushing it. That is, I mean, just because we have a no duty to retreat in South Carolina, don't mean I can shoot my neighbor because we're arguing over whether his fence is on my property or not. It just means if my life's in danger,
right.
I can use deadly force. Yeah. Not just because he pisses me off or he scares me. I mean, I have to, you need to be within your rights. You need to know that, hey, I know it could be, looked at in different ways, but you know what I'm saying. I'm preaching to the choir here.
Yeah, no doubt. The one thing they teach you a lot that I didn't realize when you take your concealed weapons class is all the legal stuff. It seemed to me like 4 hours of just situations. Well, can you kill someone for this? Can you kill someone for that? If someone does this, what should you do first? Blah blah. And I didn't expect that, but that was some of the most valuable information I got out of concealed, weapons class. I don't know where else you learn that. I mean, they don't put out a manual. Uh, Here's all the reasons you can kill someone on your property. I mean, there's the law, and I'm sure if you wanted to, you could find a lawyer or somebody. I don't know. Go to the police station. I don't. If you went to the police station, I don't know if they would actually uh, tell you what the law really means. I mean, you kind of have to figure that shit out on your own.
Because it is literally a case-by-case basis. I mean, we've had many people that have said, hey, look, my neighbor is a rolling crackhead, and he goes off the deep end, and he'll go outside his house with a ball bat and beat the shit out of a light pole with a ball bat. If he comes to my house, can I shoot him? What do you say to that? I mean, is he coming in your house? Is he, if he's outside of your house, call 911. Hopefully the cops are close. We can take care of it. But once that, I don't know, once that threshold, I don't even want to say the threshold, because I mean it's different from beating on the door trying to get somebody's attention, and we can all tell the difference between somebody literally trying to break in your front door and beating on it. And I mean, that's kind of where we stand on it. Whenever anybody asks us that question, it's like, make sure that you feel your life is in danger and that you're going to be able to articulate it, because, I mean, that's TR last year whenever I was out in the garage doing a chat, my fucking neighbor snuck up on me. He stopped up on the road, and I heard a car stop, and we were going till 12:30 or so that night. I'm like, who the hell is that? And I'm looking out, and I can't tell what vehicle it is. Well, then he starts walking down the driveway, and I can hear, feet on gravel. And I'm sitting here, and I always carry. I pulled it out. I had it down to my side, and then it got closer, and I kind of had it up behind, like you can't see, like you wouldn't be able to see it here, but it was behind my computer screen. So I'm like, who the fuck? Because I don't have good lighting. And finally, I heard the voice. I'm like, God damn it, what are you doing? It's 12:30 at night. And but you get a nervous Nelly that just shoots because they don't know who it is. Yeah, you're screwed. I mean,
Yeah, that's the thing. Well, it's some ways I'm lucky, I guess. In the situation I'm gonna put, I live alone. Nobody has a key to my house. If somebody's walking in my house in the middle of the night, they're probably gonna get shot. If you was in my yard in the middle of the night, I mean, if I was out there and it was night, I'd have a flashlight. Don't get me wrong, but I don't even want to walk up this driveway. When I check my mail, I usually drive my truck down there because it's a fucking hill, man. About 300 foot away from the road. It's like I don't even walk up and down my driveway unless I have to. But if you're in my yard in the middle of the night, you're up to no damn good. There's no reason to be here. I have no neighbors. Like it wouldn't be like a neighbor walked 20 foot and they was in my yard. No, it's just woods. You know.
Now, TR, I know that you have 5 acres and you got a winding road and all this and that. And you know I just bought that property out in the middle of nowhere. I bought it under a corporate entity. I have a multi-million-dollar liability policy on the property. I separate myself personally from it, so it's not like my house. But I've got friends that tell me I need to put up no trespassing signs, you know, like around the perimeter at a certain eye level, this and that and everything. And we've even got, in my neighborhood, we've even got this family that bought this house and tore it down just so they could have water access. So it's an empty lot, and they have these no trespassing signs, which in these new yuppie neighborhoods, those would be illegal. But in my neighborhood, you can put those up. And so I don't know what the legal necessity of a no trespassing sign is. I don't know if it gives you any more coverage legally. I don't know. But do you have them on your property and stuff like that? And Blue, the same question to you.
I have heard that no trespassing signs are a good thing to do. I have one on at my driveway. Like if you went to get my drove up my driveway, there's a no trespassing sign there. That's the only place I have it. Like I said, because the rest of it's just woods. But it probably is I have heard it is a good idea to do that. I don't know that you have to, because it gets back to the no duty to retreat, and it's not like it gives you a right to shoot somebody on your property. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying that if I felt in danger and it was midnight, 1 o'clock at night, and somebody was in my yard as I walked outside, which I would have a gun on me, trust me. They would be, I wouldn't just shoot first, but you're probably going to get a gun pointed at you. If you're in my yard, you're going to get a gun pointed at you. I'm not going to wait to draw, and after you made your comment or action you was going to do. As soon as I saw somebody, boom, there's a gun on them. What the fuck are you doing in my yard? I ain't going to give them a chance to threaten my life. So I'm probably going to save their life by doing that. You're muted, Blue.
Yeah, Blue, what about you? You live in the country, right?
Yeah, around here, basically, if it's posted as no trespassing and somebody comes onto your property, I don't want to say instantly, mail people, FedEx, that type of person, that's part of their duty, that's part of their job to deliver packages. Those people would not really be held at the no trespassing part unless you have a gate. If you have a gate and they cross it, then they're screwed. But if I line my whole property with no trespassing signs and anybody came onto my property, they automatically get arrested. It's a summary citation, which here is basically like your speeding ticket, but it's called a defiant trespasser in that you had your property marked that you didn't want anybody on it, and that person defied the obvious signage and walked onto your property.
Yeah, I've noticed that. I've never, just until recently, I haven't owned anything out in the country, but I notice as I drive down, that's as popular as a politician sign is a no trespassing sign. I mean, every property, it's got them littered. I know people are friendly out there. I know if I ever walk, I don't know. I guess You know, the way I look at it is when I go back there and do whatever I'm doing, I want to be left alone. And if I put up no trespassing signs and somebody walks on the property, I guess they're, which I have two on the road as you drive up in there. And I would never shoot nobody, don't get me wrong, unless they're going to shoot me first. But I guess I could have them arrested if they came up in there if I really wanted to be an ass. I guess that's the whole point.
Yeah, I think it's just a little extra insurance on your part. Like I said, I don't think you have to have them, but not a bad idea.
No, and you don't need to have it. I mean, literally, if you're sitting wherever and you see whoever, even if it's a neighbor you don't like or somebody you don't know, as soon as the words leave your mouth, I don't want you on my property, get off. If they refuse to do it, and it doesn't matter if you own 5,000 acres of woods and it's somebody hunting, camping, doing whatever in the middle of nowhere, not hurting anything, it doesn't matter. As soon as you utter those words, get off this is my property, get off of it. If they refuse to do that, they can, at least in this state, they can be charged with that defiant trespass.
Well, I'm sure it's the same here.
Now, Blue, since we have you here, how does that affect law enforcement? If I have a no trespassing sign at my gate, and let's just say one of the neighbors down the road said, I hear explosions on this property. I mean, as long as, well, I don't know. I guess it's an open-ended question. How do you handle that no trespassing sign as a law enforcement officer?
It really depends on, and I hate to say it depends on your local laws, and your state regulations. If for whatever reason, if somebody calls in, I'm just going to say of sound mind, and they say, Pop's Quest is down at the ranch, and he's been shooting all damn day long, and it's annoying the hell out of me. Okay, did you hear any screaming? Did you hear any what's going on? Well, it just sounds like they're just having a hell of a time and just shooting. Good for him. Good. Even if the reporting party wants to, I mean, if they lie, I mean, they can be charged with it, but that's the hard part. But if they say, I heard an argument, I heard loud yelling, and then I heard 4 gunshots, it doesn't matter if you got the trespassing signs or not. It's a duty to check, and that's that gray area where people always have a problem with. However, I mean, you have to look at both sides of it. Is it just you shooting and the neighbor says, man, I'm sick and tired of this shit every weekend? It's disrupting my lifestyle. Who the fuck cares? Oh, sorry, I don't mean to swear, but who cares? It's his right, as long as it's being done safely, as long as the bullets aren't whizzing past your house. I don't care. But if they put some added emphasis on where somebody's life may be in danger, then we have to check it out, and the trespassing signs don't really mean anything.
Yeah, so if they embellish something and make it seem unsafe, then I mean, I keep my gate locked at all times anyway. When I come in there, my gate's locked behind me, so it's a clear indicator that I want to be left alone. But I guess you could just stop and walk in,
Yeah, that's I mean, and we had that situation not long ago where you guys know how small towns are set up. I mean, it's you have the small towns with, it's like your every residential area. I mean, there's like a couple roads, but it's lined with houses. And the call came in basically that there had been shooting up in an area where people weren't used to hearing shooting, and they were concerned, and it was right on the edge of that area. Well, our borough, it's ass backwards. We have laws on the books that if anybody ever challenged it, it would be unconstitutional. It'd be thrown out. But nobody's ever done that. I mean, it's to the point where it says you can't discharge a firearm anywhere within the territory that I work, which is 43 square miles of mostly woods. So, if you wanted to dick with hunters by that ordinance, you could, but we don't. But it was definitely, it's an area, and I hate to make it sound like I'm justifying what we did, but it's an area that is known for certain individuals in a certain house in that area that they use psychedelic drugs. We've caught them running around naked. We've caught them doing this. I mean, it's just, they have no idea. They're catching ghosts in the middle of the woods with a machete, and it's like, what in the hell? And it was one of the, the call came in, shots being fired, and we called the cavalry in, but we staged away. We didn't go gunning ass up in there and, oh look, there's somebody with a gun, boom, they're dead. We staged away. We live in a small enough area where we found what property it was coming from a safe area. We called the son of a bitch on the phone. Like, hey, what's going on? Well, what do you mean what's going on? Well, somebody said there's a bunch of shooting going on up there. We got to send and get people up to check on it. Is everything okay? Oh, yeah, everything's okay. Come on up. All right, well, we'll come up, but, make sure everybody's out whenever we come up. Everybody out front, hands out to their sides until we make sure everything's good, just for everybody's safety. And that's how that was taken care of. And here to find out, they are technically, by our ordinances, they were wrong. However, the week prior, they had a bobcat up there. They had excavated their hillside because they were in the side of a hill, and they made a hell of a nice shooting range. And they were just out there testing it. And it was like, all right, guys, see you later. And we all left. And we had so many comments of, my God, you guys had a small army down there, and it's like, okay, there's a lot of shooting going on. We get there, we still hear the shooting. We didn't overreact. We had enough people there to handle a situation. However, we used our flipping heads and called them, and I think that's where a lot of big city versus where I work is completely different. Nobody shoots in a big city unless they're trying to kill somebody for the most part. But yeah, that was a use your head. People got upset, but however, it was handled, and we had every right to go where we had to go. But they were nice about it, and the guy, I'm just gonna say the head of the household, he was a God, what was he? He was in a position high up in the county, and he wanted to start all types of shit that we made this into a big, hoorah just to make it into. It was like, no, we didn't. We had everybody lined up 2 blocks from your house. We called your wife on her cell phone because, 5 weeks ago somebody called us about a dog complaint, so we had the number and we called, said everything was okay. And whenever we went up, did we have people behind me and everybody else with the long rifles? You're damn right we did. But we didn't go up with guns drawn, order. It was, it's just that situation, depending on how it comes in, on how you handle it.
I don't know if Rob's told anybody. He told us this at Farmageddon. He was disappointed the cops didn't get called out on us. He said it gave us more street cred, because it sounded like a war went off there for a little while.
It was if you look up "all hell breaking loose" in the dictionary, there's actually a picture of a YouTube video of Farmageddon right there, and the whole time over the past year, I'm looking for property, and I'm thinking, every property I look at, I'm like, well, I know what I'm going to be doing here. How's this going to work out? Well, I fell in love with that piece of property so much that I knew there was people. There's only a handful of people around, and it's several thousand acres behind me with nothing. So, but there are a couple people up by the road, and I always wondered. I'm like, well, the other day when I did that 50 cal mag dump, I did 10 rounds, and me and Rick was out there for a couple hours and just went haywire. And I pulled out of the gate and locked the gate behind me, and I drive around, and my neighbor that's at the corner of my property, that's on the same side of the road, the closest person to me, he's just out there mowing his grass. I mean, that's priceless. I love it. I think I picked the perfect spot because nobody's even made one peep of a sound. I think maybe they get a kick out of it. Really, I think is what it is. So.
Yeah, that pretty much tells you didn't upset him because he sure as hell wouldn't have been out there mowing his grass after somebody'd been shooting 50 cows. And I've been there, so I know the 50 cal where he shoots the 50 cal. I mean, it's a little ways from the road, but it ain't like it's a long ways away from the road. I mean,
You getting your bell rung. You know
yeah,
what's going on, and it's not a shotgun or a small rifle. So you either got to be wondering what it is, or you know what it is. One of the two.
And you know, same thing coming from our side of it. I mean, we have this house. I drive by it every day, and it's got, you know, it's got the Gadsden flag, it's got the Rebel flag, it's got the big SUV Suburban, and you know, yeah, not stereotyping because I'm with, I don't want to say I'm with those people, but yeah, I'm with the rights, I'm with everything. We get a call, same thing. This person's shooting, and their bullets are they're whizzing by my house. I can hear them. Like, God bless America. You know, and literally that's what I think. It's like, God damn, we live in, most people in the woods, and this call came in from the woods. So I went, I stopped at the house, and of course, I mean, yeah, am I on high alert? You're damn right. There's people shooting, and people are saying they're shooting toward a house. Is it reckless, careless, whatever? So I get out, and I'm standing there, and you can hear the AR-15s, the AK-40s. I mean, you know what they are. You can hear them. And I'm like, ah, shit. I didn't call for any backup. I didn't call for, which, you know, probably my bad for this one. But I walked up this path that, I mean, I've never been up there before. It's on this dude's property. I have no need to be up there. So I start walking up. I get to the edge of the woods, and I can see them. They're not shooting toward the house that the person says they're shooting towards is over here. They're all shooting this way. And I watched it for like 10 minutes. They're just guys out there shooting. So whenever they were all done and they were reloading, changing targets, I let out this frickin', you know, I can do the, you know, and I let out the whistle, and they all looked. I'm like, hey, I need to talk to you guys for a second. They weren't assholes. They took their slings off. They laid every one of their weapons down, and we met in the middle of the field. They still had their sidearms on. You know, we met in the middle of the field, and I said, hey, look, this is the complaint we're getting. And he's like, no, we're shooting this way. And I like, yeah, I know. I saw it. I was like, it's just a bitchy neighbor bitching about you guys shooting. I was like, I have no issues with it, but I had to check it out to make sure. And I just wanted to let you know your neighbor bitched about it, and that's it. I'm not doing anything with it, but I just want to let you know it came in. Well, it wasn't 2 weeks later. I had to stop in front of this guy's house with carload of jackasses, and they wanted to start trouble. The one dude was severely drunk. Guess who came out and stood beside the road and was ready to jump in if something happened? You know, I mean, that's the shit that, you know, that's the way the world should work. There was that little bit of respect.
Yeah, and whenever I hear it, all I hear is the sound of freedom. And I guess that's what inspired the video, Let Freedom Ring, you know. If it ain't coming at you, it's the sound of freedom.
Yep. Speaking of which, was there any way you were able to track that hashtag? Like, is there some way that you were able to look up how many hits, views, I mean, worldwide?
Oh, I don't know about the hits, but just go into, I counted them today because it's been a while, and I found 2 or 3 that I never watched, and I watched them. Some weren't exactly in the theme that we were all doing, but nonetheless, they were there. It was 31 videos released within probably 20, and then scattered around there, and then the all total was 31 videos. So, but we can build on that. Anytime you want to throw up a video, shooting, doing something new, and you don't want to explain it or just having fun, just throw that damn video title up there, and that goes with anybody in the chat room. Just keep them coming. I mean, it'll be an ongoing thing, I hope, you know.
yeah, keep doing them. I seen somebody done one. here. I mean, it was after the 4th, of course, but somebody put another one out. But yeah, if you do a search hashtag Let Freedom Ring, and it'll pull up some videos, and if you click on one, this is the way it worked for me anyway. Because I found several new people that some of you other guys knew, because I seen your comments on them, but I didn't know them. But over to the right, the suggested videos, if you click on the Let Freedom Ring, hashtag Let Freedom Ring, it filled that up, every video down to a certain point, like you said, Rob, and then there might be another video or two, and then you'll find a few more, but over to the side, it was just like, boom, all the way down. I was like, cool.
Yeah, I have yet to Google search it. Maybe I should do that now and see what comes up. I'll do a Google search with just the images. Anybody else out there on a computer want to do it, go for it. If you do a Google search, you can type in the hashtag. Oh, look at there. It's coming right up. They must know it's me. and then go to images, and or you could go to videos too. See, well, if you do images, it's well. There's my video. I'll be darned. That's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows down. But I see all the there's Rich. There's the video of me making the thing. So they're all up there. They're all up towards the top. It looks like. I mean, but if you look at the images, there's a lot of other stuff. Now, if you click on videos under Google, it's all there. They are. Boom, 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 boom. That's pretty cool. I mean, the first page is just full. Second page, I'm on the second page, second one down. The second page is totally filled. Third page, the top one I don't recognize. No, there it is. Yep. Third page, totally filled.
It sounds like there's probably a lot of them I hadn't seen yet. Wasn't sub to.
Well, the fourth page, totally filled. This is pretty cool. Fifth page, 1, 2, 3, and the fourth one's not it, but the fifth one is. Sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth. I mean, there's a lot more. I think there's more out there than I'm thinking, because I'm on page 6 of a Google search, and now on page 6, that's nothing that none of us did. Nothing in the community. So all the way through page 1 through 5 of Google search video, it pretty much comes up. So there you go. I think it was pretty cool. It was a lot of fun too.
I love the way you done that. That was unique. I hadn't heard anybody do that. And like you said, if somebody wants to do a hashtag Let Freedom Ring, there's no patent on it. Make your damn video. It didn't have to be on the 4th of July. I mean, that was the goal, but yeah, keep them coming. We want videos like that in circulation out there, period. I mean, that helps the community.
I just hope, yeah, absolutely. And I just hope that people aren't worried about, if we've come to a point in this country where you're worried about doing a video, shooting guns, and posting it on the internet, they've already won. So all I'll say is, please shoot them and post them. I mean, because the more they're out there, the better it is.
Yeah, I had to do that Google search myself and see what's out there, because I bet I've missed some then. If that many showed up, yeah. But anyhow, the way you done it, where you wanted everybody to post them at the same time, July 4th at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, and it worked. It really did. I mean, because I checked, and boom, it was just Let Freedom Ring, Let Freedom Ring, Let Freedom Ring. I mean, a bunch of them hit at the same time.
I mean, has anybody ever done that before? Timed them? I don't know.
I had never seen it.
That's for, I'm glad. If I got a very first ever on that, that's pretty cool. But I figured at some point in time somebody had done it with something else. But I figured it'd be kind of cool to just saturate the market, as they say. I should have done it at 2 o'clock because that's when the Freedom Bell really rang. I think after looking at a couple videos, we're talking about that. But I guess I'm not a big enough history buff to next year 2 o'clock on July 4th. We'll change it up.
We'll do some more pre-videos to let everybody know, because a lot of people posted them later that evening. I seen several that was posted later that evening because they didn't have a chance to shoot until the 4th. Like they worked all weekend and didn't get a chance or whatever. Like myself, actually, I worked that Saturday, Sunday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I had Monday off, and then I worked Tuesday through, the rest of the week. So Monday, the 4th of July, was the only day I had to make a video other than old footage, which, I still put old footage in it. But when I ran through the first part of it, when I ran through the woods and when I was showing off your table and talking about the Let Freedom Ring or whatever, I did that morning and then put the video together and got it ready to go by 5.
Yeah, next year July 4th falls on a Tuesday. I just looked it up on my calendar, so that'll be even easier. You got all weekend to mess around and.
Yeah, I straight up cheated. I was out at the farm and there is absolutely no cell phone service. We were shooting the shit out of stuff, but I was like, because I saw TR's video. Somehow I missed your. I am subscribed to you, but I missed yours, and I saw TR's come up, so I just pulled up an old video and switched the intro a little bit. And
that was a badass video, man. That's unbelievable.
That was a bunch of rounds.
Yeah, it was. That was an ammo manufacturer's wet dream.
All right, TR. I hate switching the subject because we're just kind of bullshitting, having a good time.
Yeah.
But you had brought up some new details on a certain shooting.
Yeah, we'll talk about that
touch
right.
on that.
We may even end this a few minutes early. This has just kind of been a BS session. But anyway, turns out, still got a pretty good many people watching. Turns out both of those shootings that made the headlines, the chick with the video footage you posted on Facebook Live when her friend got shot. Johnny had found a story that turns out, sorry about that. Turns out he had a gun in his lap, and so we talked about that Sunday night. But it turns out the other shooting, the one where the guy was down on the ground and the 2 cops were on him, the one with the red shirt on, and there was like a 45-second cell phone video on it. It turns out that the story is coming out now that in his sweatshirt or whatever he had on, he had a gun in his pocket, and the police, their account is he was going for the gun, and that's when they shot. So this changes everything, and of course, when me and Blue and Johnny was talking Friday night, everything we were saying was based on the information we had. Well, now more information is coming out because I think all of us kind of agreed they look like bad shoots, but we didn't know. All we could do is call it for what information we had. Well, now it turns out both guys had. Well, one of them we knew had a gun, but supposedly it was in a holster. But it turns out it was in his lap. This is the one where the girl did the Facebook video, and they were pulled over. They wasn't pulled over for a taillight broken. They were pulled over because the car matched the description of a armed robbery of a convenience store, and that's why they were pulled over. That's why when the police officer called it in, he said, I have a suspect that matches the description, the car matches the description, and that's why he pulled him over. And it turns out the other shooting that made big headlines, national news and all that, guy had a gun. Looked like he was reaching for it. Was he? Was he not? I don't know. You know, the video you can't tell in the video, but that's the police officer's account. He did have a gun. You know, he wasn't unarmed and just shot in cold blood for no reason. You know, based on the information that just come out in the last few days, turned out he had a gun too, and he evidently was going for it. So.
Yeah, as long as we're still free and able to change our minds, you know, Roger, you and I talked about this up at the lake there. To me, they both look like murder. I mean, but that just goes to show how when you in this cell phone video world we live in, they never seem to catch everything. But yet you base everything on that little bit of information, and you get it wrong sometimes. I try not to even make videos anymore about stuff like that because, man, it usually takes 2 or 3 weeks for all the facts to come out. But, you know, I've said to you, I've said to my friends, I've said to other people that that was a murder, and if the facts all play out to where it was justified, then what really sucks about that is 90% of America's already heard that, you know, all the side of it was a bad shoot, and then when all the facts come out 3 weeks later, nobody listens to all that, and so the cops don't get a fair shake on that end because they're already guilty, and Facebook's already made them guilty. And basically, it's Facebook that made them all guilty, and I don't know if it's YouTube, but it's video, cell phone, this and that. It's already wrong, this and that, and I fell into that trap. But I just talk about it with my close personal friends and whatnot, just to see what their opinion is. And you know, at the end of the day, you have to have all the damn information. That's just as plain and simple as it is. And people don't have patience. I don't have patience. We want to be quick to just figure it all out, you know, and it ain't that easy.
I just want
to. Yeah, I wouldn't make a video about any of those. Even the Dallas thing, I wouldn't make a actual sit down, write out a little outline, and do a video and tell you what I thought. But being that these are live chats, we kind of do. We kind of do talk about what just happened. You know, I mean, that's the advantage. That's one of the things about them, advantage or disadvantage. But we have stated over and over. I know Friday. Might have been even Sunday. I think Friday and Sunday. You know, we all Blue, myself, Johnny. Even when we disagreed on some things, we were still like, well, we're just basing it on what we know so far, because this is all we got. This much information. Based on that, it looks like this, but I don't know. You know, if when more information comes out, we can make a better argument one way or another. But right now, it looks this way, and you just got to be honest about it. I've already seen videos. I've seen a video. If I'd have knew what it was, I wouldn't even have clicked on it because of this false flag crap. People just go way overboard with false flag. False flag does not mean the shit didn't happen. They're just using it for political reasons, or they're whatever. I ain't even gonna get into the definition of false flag. But I seen one video where the guy broke it down and he's going frame by frame, and he was like, "See, there's where he grabs that bag. It's he was calling it something. You know, it was like a bag full of fake blood or whatever." And it had like a firecracker in it that popped because it was all fake. It didn't happen, and I was like, "Oh my God!" I just had to click out of it. It's like, really, it's so grainy and crappy. Even his story didn't work with it because it's like, what? Where did you pull that out of your ass at? Because it's like, how did you come up with this?
Was that wasn't Dabu 007 or whatever, was it?
It wasn't, but it was a channel like that, I assume.
I mean,
you know,
everything is out of the shadows. I mean, come on. I mean, I know there's some shadow stuff going on. Don't get me wrong, but every damn thing ain't coming out of the shadows to get you. The boogeyman ain't at your doorstep 24/7. And
But same thing with the Dallas shooter. I've seen where people are saying that that was a government, like a government spec ops guy or whatever. And that's like, oh shit, come on. I mean, it may turn out he is, and if he was, you would never know it. There'll never be facts to prove that the government set him up for that. And I ain't saying it didn't happen. I don't believe it happened. I'm just saying, even if because there's stuff I do believe in that we'll never know the truth. I do believe that there were government involved and stuff like that, but I'll never be able to prove it. It'll never come out. I mean, shit, JFK is still, no, it hadn't, Lee Harvey, killed him. That's the way it is. That's the way it's always going to be. You'll never get proof on that. All you can do is dig up enough facts to make up your own mind that it's something like this happened. But every time some jackleg gets shot in the street or whatever, do I believe those cops was in some kind of big conspiracy and they're going to keep their mouth shut the rest of their life? No. If they both ended up, dead the next day, if both policemen and the guy that supposedly got shot but didn't get shot according to their theory, if all three of them die within a few days, then you got something that you might be on to something.
I mean, conspiracies are for the big shit. It ain't for the walking around type little this and that happens and everything. Martial law, World War III, keep Obama for a third term, this and that and everything. All the conspiracies are happening behind all that. While you're focusing all these things that you think are every little thing is a conspiracy, all the stuff that really is a conspiracy is happening behind the scenes where you don't even see it. It's happening anyway. It's not that easy.
Well, they can use. I won't say it's a true definition of a false flag, but when something big is going on and something kind of big happens over here, and all the media, all the press, they come over here and they concentrate on that, and they have debates and they yell and scream and all that, while this stuff over here is not even really being hid. It just ain't being talked about anymore because America's memory, their short-term memory, after a day, just like you was talking about with the police, if it comes out that both of those guys tried to shoot the cop, it's too late. That's yesterday's news. Nobody cares. It's like no different than a newspaper making a retraction. So they do a story, and then they do a retraction. You open up the A page of the paper. I've seen it before. You open up the A page. You're on page 2. There'll be a little paragraph down here in the right-hand corner, down at the bottom. They made a retraction. There'll be a paragraph about it. Oh, we misspoke this, or this wasn't this person. It was it. Whatever it is. Ain't nobody reading that shit. What you put out to start with is boom, that's the truth, that's the facts. It's done, whether it's a lie or not.
A retraction should be right there at the same eye level and page as the original story. It has no effect.
But just like you were saying with the police, if it comes out that, I mean, some people like us will catch on to it. We'll pay attention. We'll look at it. But your normal average Joe out there, they ain't gonna pay a bit of attention to it. Even if the news does talk about it, it'll be so quick and so low, subtle that it won't register. It'll bounce off their head. It'll just in one ear out the other. Because they'll already forgot. Who shot? What was the guy? I don't remember what that guy's name was. I mean, that'll be pretty much what it is.
I don't know the guy's name, but the live Facebook feed that we've kind of covered, I think it was Misfit put something in about the police officer's tactics with approaching a window. I've heard everything from and read everything from the be on the lookout for this vehicle with these robbery suspects was everything from a couple hours to a couple days out. Has anybody been able to the suspect vehicle, it looks like this, it looks like this. It was involved in a robbery of a convenience store, and it happened a week ago, 2 days ago, or a couple hours. Has that been cleared up yet?
I don't know, but even when we was having that chat, somebody was telling, because Johnny was saying like the robbery happened just within an hour or two or something like that, or within hours. Somebody put in the in the external that night that it was from a couple of days ago or a week ago or something like that. So I don't know if anything's definite come out about that, but
and that's the consensus that I'm seeing, is that the robbery happened. Let's just say we'll split her down the middle. We'll go 5 days. The robbery happened 5 days ago. There was a be on the lookout for this vehicle. Midwest Misfit put a comment in there not too long ago that was basically, if it was a robbery suspect, why were they not, a felony stop where, the officer stood back, pulled the people out using the bullhorn and, do a felony stop. Unless you're in that situation, if it was within an hour or two, absolutely, oh God, right there they are. You're pulling them out, not pulling them out, but you're giving them the verbal commands, you do this, you do this, you do this. Once a couple days goes by, and I think we even kind of touched on this the last chat, a couple days go by, you're looking, and I don't know the specifics on the car or the suspects, but it's I think we said a black Mazda or a black Civic or something like that, and there's a black man with dreadlocks and facial hair and this and that. After a couple days go by, you're really pushing doing a felony stop on those vehicles. And I mean, that's like any of us, anybody that drives a black Honda Civic that may be close to that, yeah, you are, I don't want to say a suspect, but you're a person of interest, and we're going to stop you. Days later, right there, heat of the moment, couple hours, boom, yeah, definite felony stop. But yeah, you can't do that to everybody. I mean, you can't. Does that make sense to you guys? That, I mean, you're driving down the road.
yeah.
And
Yeah. No, you couldn't be just every whatever it was. Say it's a burgundy, freaking minivan, whatever, whatever the case is.
PT Cruiser,
You just couldn't
PT
pull over
Cruiser.
every one of them and have every mom, kid, whatever down on the ground on the side of the highway or side street or whatever. No, you can't do that. No. I mean, I guess you could, but no, you shouldn't. And I'm glad they don't.
No, I had a run-in with the ATF and the bomb squad and the cops. I don't know if y'all remember that video from way back, but driving that white E-150 with a white trailer behind it parked in front of the courthouse, they thought there was a bomb inside my van. And when I got down there by it, they put my ass in a car and they shut the 6 city blocks down. And I was a person of interest for a long damn time, and I thought that while I was locked up in that cop car, I thought they was destroying my house and destroying my shop and going through all my shit. And if you didn't know me very well, you could go through my stuff and think I'm an interesting guy, And luckily it didn't get to that. But I had 5-gallon buckets of flammable glue in the back of that van that looked like explosives. It got called in by somebody who was robbing a bank a few miles away. It was a diversion tactic, but they didn't know that then. And I sat my ass in that cop car and I got questioned extensively. I just was totally honest with them. That was an interesting day of my life. Very interesting.
And the bottom line in all of this is, if you're not doing fucking nothing wrong, I don't care what you got in your car. I don't care. Fucking, even though you might not like it, fucking listen. Even if I was not a police officer and this situation happened to me, and they're like, put your fucking hands up. Don't do this. Don't do this. Don't do that. Fuck. Listen. If your rights were violated, by all means, go back and sue the motherfuckers, get a couple $1 million, and live comfortably for the rest of your life. But, the biggest thing comes down to listen.
Maybe I'm naive, and maybe I hadn't seen all the videos, and maybe I hadn't heard all the stories. But I know at least on videos, very rarely, if not never, I won't say never, because I have seen a few situations, but it was crowds and riot cops and stuff. But I've never really seen an individual start a fight with a cop and come out on top. If anybody has, send me a link. I'd like to see it. Especially when there's multiple cops standing around and the guy wants to resist arrest. I've never seen that go well for him, ever.
No, that's like trying to find a unicorn mermaid. That shit don't exist.
No, there's a couple videos where the cop gets their asses handed to him, and it's disgusting. I mean, I don't know if it's because I'm looking at it from my eyes, but it's disgusting because somebody's getting arrested, and there's somebody. It's not even a big struggle. I mean, it's they're locked up. Somebody gets taken to the ground, and the cop has the advantage, and some jackass that with a video camera rolls the bad guy over on top of the cop. It's like, what the fuck? That guy should be, as far as I'm concerned, that guy should have a billy club upside the fucking side of his head for doing that. That's just, if it's witnessed at the time, by all means, somebody's going to get their ass whooped. But, that guy should be charged, and, he's hindering an arrest, regardless if you agree with it or not. That's what you're doing. And, Midwest, I'm just not going to comment on any of your comments anymore. So it's like I'm trying to play both sides here, but it's always with his comments in the external. It's it's anti-police every time, and there's they're cynical. There is an open mind, and then there's somebody that's led blindly. And it's almost like he's coming through the cynical order of it doesn't matter what happens. There could be 5,000 cameras trained on what's going on. And
I know I've told the story, and I don't want to bore anybody, but I'll make it real quick. The worst experience I had with a cop, I've only had 2 bad experiences with police officers. Didn't go to jail, and I didn't even get a ticket. But one of them was I got surrounded by Greenville City Police. I mean, 3 police cars flew up in the parking lot, and then 3 more after that. There was a wall of policemen around me. And, yeah, okay, I'll change the subject real quick. Yes, Mule, I don't think the Dallas thing was a little thing, but the other shootings, they have, I mentioned that earlier, the media took attention away from Hillary. Not that some big shit didn't happen, but the 2 individual shootings, they probably made more of it than it was, just to draw eyes away from Hillary. I don't deny that one bit. Anyway, but I had that wall of policemen around me, and I think I told you all about that. There was some guy that wrecked a motorcycle 2 or 3 times, and I was on my bike. Well, I wasn't on my bike. I was standing on the sidewalk, but I had my jacket on and all that, and there was my bike, and I just calmly talked to them, and they threatened to lock me up if I got on the bike, and just all kind of bullshit. But they never asked me for my ID, and I can't even remember if they asked me my name. If they did, I don't remember telling them my whole name. I might have told them my first name, but I don't even know if they asked me my name. But I know they didn't ask for my ID, and they ended up leaving. That was kind of, but I kept a calm head. I wasn't aggressive. I wasn't being disrespectful. I was respectful, but I was just kind of challenging why the hell they was harassing me, in a calm way. And that was one of the worst. I kept my wits about me. But if they'd have told me to get on the ground and all that, hell, I'd have done it. Because, I mean, literally, it was like 6 or 8 cops. It was like, you know, if they'd have told me to get on the ground, put my my hands behind my back and cross my legs, I'd have done it, because I didn't have a fighting chance in hell.
Yeah, you know when you're beat, but the fact that you just calmly stood your ground is what won that battle, really, I think. When I was riding a motorcycle full time when I was I guess I was around 18, 19 years old, working construction, and I was working for this guy that was always in trouble with the local municipality. Well, instead of sending a registered letter, he had a green card on a letter that required a signature. And he was a German guy, and he was real big, and I was just this little peon. And he said, I want you to take this to the courthouse and get a signature, and don't leave without a signature. And I said, okay, well, where's the courthouse? And it was a trailer in a rural area. And he told me where it was, and I walked up there, and I walked inside the trailer door, and there was a lady sitting here, and there was a man sitting here. What I didn't realize was the man was a magistrate. Well, I walked up to the lady, who was the clerk, I guess, at court or something like that, and I handed her the letter, and she looked at the she didn't grab it. She looked at the letter and saw who it was from, and she just she went back to what she was doing. And I said, this is a letter, it's a registered letter. I need your signature or whatnot. And she grabbed the letter. And about that time, the guy kind of looked over, and she looked at him, and I was caught in the crossfire. I didn't realize the battle that was going on between this guy that I was working for in the municipality. Long story short, I wanted to get the signature, so I told the lady, I said, listen, I'm just the messenger. I need a signature, whatnot, and just sign it, give me the receipt. I don't know what's the letter about and this and that and everything. And so she took she signed it, and she ripped it off or whatever. She signed it, took the receipt off the letter, and threw it at me. And it ended up landing behind me on the floor. And I was young and pissed off, and so I went over there, picked it up, and I went out of the courtroom door, which is a trailer, and I slammed it. And at that time, I heard the door slam to the trailer, and everything on that wall fell to the ground. I could hear all the plaques and pictures and all the shit that was on the inside of that trailer wall just slammed to the floor. And I was like, holy shit. So I just kept walking. And I was halfway between the trailer and my motorcycle, and the guy that was sitting there, who I realized then was the magistrate, Ronnie Altman, I think was his name, up in Monk's Corner. And if Bobby Yankee 4 is out there listening, he can tell you if that was the guy's name. This is years and years ago. But he had, I guess, called on the radio, and some cops were around the area. And boy, they were there like that. And they put me on the ground, they locked me up, and they put me in the county jail. Never even got my ID, never asked me any questions. They locked me up and stuck me in a jail cell and didn't say anything about why I was being locked up, what I was there for, anything. I didn't even make a phone call. 12 hours later, this was 3 in the afternoon, 12 hours later at 3 in the morning, they opened the jail cell up, walked me out to the front of the building, and turned me loose. And I had to go walk down the street and find a payphone, and I called this is my first wife at the time, and she's like, where have you been, this and that and everything. And I said, you won't believe it. You won't believe it if I told you. And that was my crazy run-in with the law right there.
Yeah, that's pretty. Yeah, because I'm assuming. Well, they didn't arrest you, so they didn't read you your Miranda right. They didn't do shit. They just locked your ass up. You got kidnapped.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I missed 12. I was a 4th man in a 3-man cell for 12 hours, and I just went away for 12 hours.
and that's I don't know what your regulations are as far as right to due process, but yeah, there's nothing. if for whatever reason in my state, if we take you into an investigative detention, which is the best word to describe it, basically we have 6 hours, which, yeah, you kind of become lost to community or to everyone. I mean, you have the right to, remain silent. You have the right not to say a goddamn word to anybody, but yet the courts have said, okay, well, you have the right not to do anything with this guy for 6 hours. And 6 hours is the limit. Either at the end of that 6 hours, you either charge him and get him in front of a magistrate so the magistrate can set bail, or he's released. There is no, that 12 hours, you probably could have made a lot of money off of that.
Mm-hmm.
I just enjoyed my freedom at 3 in the morning. But that's, I mean, and I don't know, that story you just said, and that's what sets bad with, at least, officers like me. I mean,
that judge was relieved of duty, and you can look it up. And if you go back about 20-something years, I believe his name was Ronnie Altman. I believe it was either Berkeley County or Moncks Corner, South Carolina. He eventually was let go because he was running it like he was the king of those whatever county it was. And I think Bobby was commenting in the side chat. He was a corrupt dude, and he used those cops like they were his little minions. And it didn't last long for him. But I got caught up in that little bit.
Yeah, and that's,
you just got caught up in some small time, crooked government. Period. Whatever whatever you want to call it. Yeah.
See, and I hate saying it, but I would be the first person that, I don't care if you're a judge, if you're my councilman, if you're my chief, and you got a beef with whoever for whatever reason. I mean, the rules were set up for a reason. It was to protect and I'm going to use air quotes, criminal or a suspected criminal. But God, whenever you have people blatantly, I mean, in your case, sounds a blatant, well, just because you were an ass, you were an ass and you slammed our door and our shit fell off the wall, we're going to lock you up for 12 hours, it's the shit like that it really fucking irritates me. And I don't know. I mean, and that's what's bad with, large city to even small town, because thankfully where I work, we don't have that a lot. It does happen, but whenever a council person or somebody were to come in and say, oh, well, this person is, something stupid, burning on a non-burning day, and I really hate that son of a bitch, so go cite him. No, we have this process set up that if you're doing something stupid over an ordinance, we talk to you and say, hey, look, this is what the ordinance is. We give you a copy of it and say, hey, don't let it happen again. If it happens again after that, well, then it's kind of your own stupidity. But I mean, it's, we have those people, and actually, I don't know if I'm safe or not, but we had a mayor that thought that that's kind of how the police department ran, was at his beck and call, and he's no longer there. And that's what's good about the area that I live in, is that shit's not tolerated. It's just, you know what, you crooked son of a bitch, get out.
Yeah, unfortunately, there are crooked. Well, we know crooked politicians. I think that's pretty much about the only kind they are. But anyway, crooked politicians, judges, police, janitors, maintenance guys. I mean, there's just crooked people in the world. Unfortunately, when they get power, they can wield it and be assholes. And it, I mean, it's, if you can point it out and do something about it, do it, but the world's full of assholes. There's no shortage of them, period.
Oh, yeah. And just like right now, and, this might sound trivial, but I think it was Midwest Misfit that I put a comment on where, I was trying to answer his comments bug, But I was trying to answer his comments, and it seemed like every time I switched screens over, it was just anti-police and this and that. You know, I fucked up. I didn't see the one where he was like, "Hey, look, you know, this shoot here looks good," and everything else. And you know, I called him out on the live chat, and just to give him the credit and my mess up, you know, I was wrong. I went back and I looked, and yeah, he's not anti-police. He's just anti that one situation for his own reasons. It's not everything. So I do apologize for that, and I will call myself out whenever I do mess up. So don't unsubscribe. No.
Yeah, it's hard to keep up with
It is.
with the comments and yeah, Misfit saying, "Damn right, Misfit is always right. Never forget."
Yeah, but whenever I mess up and I miss something, you know, he called my attention to it, and I went up. I was like, "Yep, there it is. I just missed it." But yeah, that was and there again, that's that somebody else put out there the witness statement. You know, you have, and I put the reply. You know, you have 12 people that see the same thing, and they all see it different. It's just from different angles. You know, I was switching between screens, and I missed that. So sorry about that, man.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, different points of view, different point of view in their mind, what they see, and you know, three people can see the same thing, see three different damn things.
Mm-hmm. And
All right,
even three different cameras can see the same thing and see completely different things.
I was telling somebody at work about that because I think you're the one that brought it up, or might have even posted a link or something about that, where there was a shoot that happened, and from one body cam angle or car cam, it kind of like looked iffy for the cops. It's like, yeah, it looked bad, but there was this other view. It's like, oh no, yeah, he did the right thing. Yeah, so. Well, I don't mean to end this soon, too soon. I said I may cut it early, but actually it's been 2 hours. I like to cut them off at 2 hours. Some of us got to go to work tomorrow. Some people can't listen to the whole. I don't like to drag them out over 2 hours. I do 2 a week, so what we miss we'll get next time. So, with that being said, I'm gonna let you two guys do a outro. We'll start with you, Blue. Go right ahead.
Oh no! Again, apologies to Midwest Misfit, because I completely called him out and said that I wasn't going to answer any more of his questions, and I was completely wrong by that statement. So I hope you take my apology. It was just what I was switching back and forth saying. But regardless of that, guys, I am almost to 1,000 subs, which is going to start my 1,000 sub appreciation giveaway. I got a lot of good stuff. I got Streamlights. I got Key Smart stuff. I mean, it's stuff that literally I've done reviews over, which a lot of people might not care about. But I mean, it's pretty top of the line stuff, and these companies have actually donated, and that's never happened. I'm like, holy crap, you know, people are giving me stuff to give away. So I think it was like 976 the last time I checked. It was something like that. So you know, give us a sub if you like. I'm not saying sub it just for the giveaway, but you know, if you like it, join in, and hopefully we'll give this stuff away here soon. TR, thanks for the invite as always, and we'll see you the next time.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about your giveaway. I knew you had to be getting really close, so cool. Hopefully you'll hit that pretty soon, and should be a good giveaway. Anyway, and Rob, Pop's Quest, thanks for coming in, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's always fun, and that's why I'm here. Hey, Blue, I'll throw in a mag loader on your giveaway when you do it.
No kidding, really?
Yeah, man.
All right. Well,
So,
after we go off air, I'll give you my address and.
well, if you don't even want, how about this? I'll send you one, and then I'll mail one to everybody else, so you don't have to deal with the shipping. Anyway, everybody go sub to him. He's a good dude. I like to keep it short. Appreciate everybody, especially in the chat. Usually that's where I'm at, and it's a lot of fun. I tried to keep up with it tonight. And of course, TR, Roger, thank you so much. Always fun chatting with you.
Like I said, thanks for coming on. Yeah, it's a lot harder to keep up with the comments when you're actually on the chat. You get a train of thought going, you done miss 15 comments. But anyway, thanks for being on here, Rob. Blue, I do appreciate it. I do like 3 or 4 people, I mean, to get all together. As long as I got 3 people here, I'm happy with the chat. If I have more, that's okay. But thanks for coming in, Rob, and helping us out. I do appreciate it. But I know you probably got to go to work early in the morning, and Blue does too, I'm sure. And thank everybody for coming out. I really appreciate everybody coming over to my first channel with my problems with YouTube and keeping the chat going. It's been just as successful, if not more successful over here, I think. So with that, thank you, everybody, and we'll see you Sunday night. Later.